Hi everybody, it's Elayne from the Sewing Basket in Plymouth, Wisconsin. Today I've got a quick little product demo for you of 606 spray, and we're going to just do a fun little shirt. Easy project, don't need a lot of stuff, and just fun to do. So what 606 is, it is a spray fusible in a can. So if you're familiar with things like heat and bond or steam-a-seam, they have paper behind them. So if I'm going to trace a pumpkin, I trace my pumpkin and I fuse that fusible to the back of my fabric. I can cut out my pumpkin, peel off the paper, and then fuse it down. 606 doesn't have paper, it's just the sticky. So what it lets me do is just spray a fabric and then I can cut any shapes I want. So what I'm going to do is I've got this shirt, I've got some blue thread, I've got a fabric that I like, and a piece of that fabric. No design, I'm going to just do this kind of a modern look. I'm going to push this aside, and I've got just a piece of poster board to catch my overspray. And this comes out like spray paint. Just shake it up a little bit. And just, I'm covering the back. It doesn't have to be totally looking like it's painted, but I need to cover everything. My edge is good, because I'm going to be cutting this piece up. So it's cold and damp. In about 30 seconds it's going to be completely dry, and I think you'll be able to see where the white is on the back here in the video. So this is now the glue, and there is some in this area, some's not quite as thick. I can look and see, might need just a little bit more, kind of along that edge, a few spots there. All right, and then I'm going to let this dry. It's just, this is not sticky at all, but it's cold and wet when it comes out of the can. This was just to catch my overspray so I don't get it on my mat. I'm going to set this down, and I'm going to bring my iron over. Actually, before I iron, I've got to decide what I want to do with shapes. I'm going to just chop some chunks of this to make kind of a modern looking shirt. So I'm going to just grab my cutter and get rid of that salvage on the end. And now I'm just going to cut some odd shaped pieces. I could do squares, circles, all different things, whatever I'd like. I'm going to just do enough to give you an idea. So I've got some kind of spaghetti type strips here. These are now all fusible. So I'm going to set this aside. This piece is still fusible, ready to use on another project. I can stick this in a bag and use it a year from now. It'll still stick. And it's not sticky at all at this point. It's just, feels like fabric, not sticky, but the fusible is on there. So I can take my shirt and my iron, and I'm not going to do the whole design right now, but I'm going to show you what I can do. Open this up, and I'm going to maybe start on the back, and I'm going to just take a few pieces. Don't mind the ding-dong in the background. There's people coming in the store, which is a wonderful thing. And I'm going to just lay some of these down in different shapes. And I can do anything I want with these. Let's start with that. I take my iron and I just press. And that presses them into place. This is a permanent bond, the can says. People use this if they make church banners and things like that, or you want to make a quick little happy birthday banner, but you don't want to spend a lot of time and effort on it. So it says permanent. It will stick. These are stuck down. I can't pick that off. I let it cool. Oop, pressed up that edge a little bit. Let it cool. And once it's cool, it's all set. Fused on here. If I'm making something like this shirt that's going to be washed, then I want to take my thread, I'm going to use my decorative stitches and sew around some of these pieces, so I'm appliquing them down. I'll probably put a little stabilizer behind it, something like a sulky, totally stable, just a little bit of stabilizer that will support my decorative stitches. We're going to be doing some upcoming classes on decorative stitches also. But I'm going to sew around these, and I'm going to decorate this shirt. I'll be back maybe later today, more than likely, maybe weeks from now, but we'll keep you posted. So this type of project is really fun. 606 spray, super easy to use, and a fun, quick and easy project. See you again soon. So once I have my pieces fused down, I mentioned that I would put a fusible stabilizer on the back to support my stitching. So I'm going to just flip this over. So this is the area that my design is on, and I want a stabilizer that will be a tearaway. This is called Totally Stable. One side kind of feels like wax paper. That goes down on the back, and I can iron this and it will stick to my shirt. And I'm not going to put the whole thing on, but I'm going to just show you the way that this works. It's stuck onto the shirt so that when I stitch, as I stitch along these edges, I can do all kinds of different stitches. A lot of times in applique, you're doing a satin stitch. I want this shirt to be a little more artsy looking, for lack of a better term. So I'm going to use different decorative stitches and things that might be wider. And those wider stitches, if you're stitching just on 2 layers of cotton, sometimes they can cause a pucker and it doesn't look as good. So by putting that stabilizer on the back, I'm ready to sew, and we'll head over to the sewing machine and do a few stitches and see what that looks like too. So here we are at the sewing machine. I'm going to put my shirt underneath my presser foot. And I've got my paper, my Totally Stable stabilizer under there as well. I want to be sure that that's straight and underneath where I need it to be. Under here. Always a little bit of a struggle. You can see my stabilizer under there. And I'm ready to stitch. And I haven't threaded my needle yet, so there we go. That's done. And now I'm going to just pick a stitch, and I'm going to do kind of this little feather stitch. And I'm going to start right along that edge, foot down, needle down, and I'm going to do a lock stitch, so I'm going to hold that in place. It'll do 3 stitches in place, and then I'm going to stitch. And what I'm watching is the edge of this going right into the middle of my foot, so my feather stitch is going onto both sides. Let's see if I can get that a little bit closer, so you can see right where I'm stitching. Go pretty fast along here. See how it's nice and flat and stabilized, so nothing is puckering. I'm going to just stop with my needle down, and I'm going to pivot so you can see. You don't need to watch me sew that whole thing. And right there, you can see my stitches and how nice and smooth and flat they are. On the back, I've got the stabilizer, and that will just tear away. I can just tear it and pull it away from the back of all my stitches. I'm going to keep sewing right now, and I'll come back to you later when we've got our shirt closer to done. Thanks. So once you've stitched, your back will look like this stitched over the stabilizer. Here I'm just starting to remove it. This will just tear away. I can use a pin to score along the edge to get it started, and then I'm going to just pull this away and tear that out as I go. So this is what it looks like once this is torn away. Normally I would stitch all the pieces on the back and then stitch all of it and then peel the stabilizer away, but we're just doing a quick little demo here to see what the process is.